The year is 1919. The world is still reeling from the devastation of the Great War, a conflict that has reshaped nations and altered the course of history. The Great War has ended, and the victors gather in Paris to determine the terms of peace. Leaders from around the globe converge to negotiate the future of a war-torn world. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, becomes the embodiment of their judgment. It is a document that will shape the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. It is a document steeped in retribution, designed to cripple Germany and prevent its resurgence as a military power. The terms are harsh and unforgiving. Germany is stripped of its colonies, its territory dismembered, its military reduced. The once mighty empire is left vulnerable and humiliated. The once proud nation is forced to accept sole responsibility for the war, enshrined in the infamous Article 231, the War Guilt Clause. This clause is a bitter pill for Germany to swallow. This clause fuels a deep-seated resentment that will fester in the years to come. The seeds of discontent are sown, and they will grow into a dangerous force. Germany is ordered to pay an astronomical sum to the victors, a debt calculated to cripple its economy for generations. The financial burden is immense and suffocating. The burden of these reparations, coupled with the loss of its industrial heartlands, plunges Germany into an economic abyss. The nation struggles to rebuild amidst widespread poverty and despair. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to ensure peace, instead sows the seeds of future conflict. The harsh terms create a breeding ground for extremism and unrest. The victors, blinded by their desire for revenge, fail to grasp the dangerous consequences of their actions. Their short-sightedness will have far-reaching implications for the world. The economic consequences of the Treaty of Versailles are catastrophic for Germany. The loss of vital industrial regions, coupled with the crushing burden of reparations, cripples the German economy. Inflation soars, wiping out the savings of the middle class and plunging millions into poverty. Unemployment skyrockets as factories lie idle and businesses collapse. The social fabric of German society begins to unravel as desperation and despair grip the nation. The Weimar Republic struggles to maintain order amidst the chaos. The psychological impact of this economic collapse creates fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. Germany, once a beacon of European progress, is now a nation teetering on the brink. The social and psychological impact of the Treaty of Versailles cuts deep into the German psyche. The War Guilt Clause is seen as a national humiliation. The harshness of the treaty, the loss of territory, the crippling reparations all feed into a narrative of victimhood. This potent mix of resentment, humiliation, and economic hardship creates a fertile breeding ground for extremist ideologies. The stage is set for the rise of a charismatic leader who can tap into the wellspring of anger and resentment. Amidst the economic and social turmoil, a new political force emerges, the Nazi Party. Led by Adolf Hitler, the Nazis offer a toxic brew of nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism. Hitler's ideology taps into the deep well of resentment and humiliation that festers in Germany. He blames the Jews, communists, and liberals for Germany's defeat and economic woes. The Nazis exploit the economic crisis to their advantage, appealing to the unemployed and the disillusioned. They use violence and intimidation against their political opponents. The Weimar Republic, weakened by internal divisions and economic paralysis, proves unable to withstand the Nazi onslaught. In January 1933, Hitler is appointed Chancellor of Germany, marking the beginning of the end for German democracy. Once in power, Hitler moves quickly to consolidate his grip on Germany, wasting no time in transforming the political landscape. He dismantles democratic institutions, bans opposition parties, and establishes a totalitarian state. The Nazi regime uses propaganda and fear to control the populace. He rebuilds the German military in flagrant violation of the Treaty of Versailles and begins to pursue an aggressive foreign policy. This military expansion is a clear signal of his intentions. In 1936, Hitler remilitarizes the Rhineland, a demilitarized zone bordering France. This bold move goes unchallenged. The Western powers, hesitant to confront Hitler, do nothing. Their inaction is seen as a sign of weakness. Emboldened by their inaction, Hitler grows even bolder. His confidence swells as he realizes the lack of immediate consequences. In 1938, Hitler annexes Austria into the Third Reich. This event, known as the Anschluss, is a significant step in his expansionist agenda. The Anschluss is met with protests from the international community, but no concrete action is taken. The world watches, but remains passive. Later that year, Hitler sets his sights on the Sudetenland, a region of Czechoslovakia with a large German-speaking population. His ambitions are clear. The Western powers agree to Hitler's demands at the Munich conference in a desperate attempt to avert another war. This policy of appeasement is controversial. The policy of appeasement only serves to embolden Hitler, further fueling his ambitions for conquest. His aggressive moves set the stage for the coming conflict. On September 1, 1939, German forces unleash a devastating blitzkrieg upon Poland. This act of unprovoked aggression shatters the fragile peace in Europe. World War II has begun. The invasion of Poland is the culmination of Hitler's expansionist ambitions and the failure of the Western powers to curb his aggression. Despite fierce resistance from the Polish army, Warsaw falls within a month. The country is carved up between Germany and the Soviet Union. Britain and France declare war on Germany on September 3, 1939. The world watches in disbelief as Europe plunges headlong into another war. The hopes for a lasting peace embodied in the Treaty of Versailles lie shattered. World War II, a conflict that would claim the lives of tens of millions, was not an inevitable tragedy. It was a catastrophic event that could have been prevented with different decisions and actions. It was the culmination of a series of interconnected events, many of which can be traced back to the flawed peace that followed World War I. The decisions made in the aftermath of the Great War set the stage for future conflicts. The Treaty of Versailles, while understandable in its desire to punish Germany, failed to address the underlying causes of the conflict. Instead of fostering lasting peace, it sowed